Unfiltered is filmed in front of a live studio camera.
Welcome to Unfiltered. It is Thanksgiving week, and all of your family is coming into town. I hope you found that perfect hiding spot so you don't have to spend too much time in all of that. Why is it that when family comes in, we feel so horrible? This is supposed to be a happy time of year. And this past Saturday, I had a chance to hang out with a great family. And, you know, it really brought me back to long ago, to where families actually got together. And it was, I'm speaking, of course, about the family of Mike Daniele. His wife Deb planned the ultimate surprise birthday party for Mike. He turned 60 last week, and while a lot of people will take that hard, he took it like a champ. So Deb had planned his birthday party, and his mom had come up from Florida, and he had sisters and cousins, and his kids and grandkids, and it was just a great time, you know. And that's what that's what holidays are for. They're for family to get together, to reconnect, because our families are spread all over the places these days. And so I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Maybe we'll get into some more, get into some recipes or something a little bit later. What else has been going on immediately? Not much, but let's go over here. All right. Make sure I don't overdo the audio, because I tend to do that. I can't constantly monitor my audio because all the lights are behind me. So let's talk a little bit about politics. You want to start with politics? No? Well, me either, but you know, it's there. So what can you do? Let me give you a fact that probably you won't learn in your history books. Maybe you will. The fact is, George Washington did not want to be the president. The founding fathers did not want that position. It's basically was forced on them. You know, look, you're going to be the president. You're the best man for the job. Well, I don't want to be a president. Back then, they had reasons why they didn't want to be president. Because while they were off being president, no one was tending the farms. That's right. I told you that fact to give you this point. Politics should not be a career. Do you think I'm horrible for saying that? I don't think you should spend 20, 30, 40, 50 years in politics. Politics and elected seats of power are a public service. That's why nobody in those old days wanted to do it. You know, they were like, all right, well, if I have to serve, I'll serve. I'll do my 2 years, my 4 years, and then I'll go back into my own life. And that's the way that it should be today. Serving in politics is, again, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but maybe the military shouldn't be a career. On the other hand, I see the need for the older, wiser, more experienced warriors to stay in the military. Because they're the guys that know, they're the guys that have experience. On the other hand, politics, no. Politics should not be a career job, because at the end of a career, you expect to have a lot of stuff. Politicians should serve a term, possibly 2. And that's it. They should never be able to get back into the political spectrum again. As a politician or as a lobbyist. And lobbyists we have to get rid of. Again, remember, we elect these people to be public servants. Not to tell us what to do. We are supposed to tell them what to do. They work for us. That's right. But these days, it seems that we work for them so that they can line their filthy, dirty, piggy pockets. And you notice, I'm not going partisan on this thing. Because it is politics. Plain and simple. And nobody should make a career out of it. Yeah. Let me throw another little fact at you. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the president has to answer any questions at all from the press. The First Amendment doesn't say you have the right to ask the president stupid questions or any questions. That, again, it's a perk. It's the government being nice, saying, yes, we'll be transparent, we'll answer questions. But there is no law saying that the White House even has to have a press corps. There's no law that says that. And I'm pretty sure that back in the 1700s, Benjamin Franklin wasn't hounding over George Washington going, how dare you make them troops stay out there in the goddamn freezing weather in Valley Forge. No. There is no law that says the president has to answer any press questions at all. The White House could just close down everything. The Jim Acosta thing, yeah. I think he was a jerk. He was rude. Especially if you've got a room full of 40 reporters Everybody wants to ask a question. But the president's going to give you 15 minutes. He doesn't have time to stand there all day and take questions. Pretty sure he's a busy guy. Probably a lot busier than these little stupid pissant news reporters. Oh, can I not say pissant? Sorry. I won't say it again. You see lots of press conferences where I'm sure that there are reporters in that room that never got called on. That never had the chance to ask that question, to ask any question. So, yeah, Acosta was being rude, and he got his press pass back. I mean, I do a public access TV show. I'm an aviation photographer with Facebook page and YouTube page, and I post all my aviation pictures from air shows. But guess what? I can't get a press pass for an air show. You know, press passes are handed out as a privilege, not a right. The Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, both demonstration teams that the U.S. military has, gives civilian flights at every air show. Generally 3. 1 to a member of the media. Not to all the media, just one person. And it's the Blue Angels that pick that person. Another one is high-profile people and movers and shakers in communities. You know, teachers, things like that. Maybe a mayor here or there. I'm not sure. But the fact is, it's a privilege. It's not a right to have a press pass. And there is no law that says that the White House, again, even has to have a press corps. I mean, in reality, the government could say, boom, guess what? We're closing the White House. We're not going to let anybody into the White House at all. And we're not going to give you any information due to national security issues. They could throw everything under the National Security Act and nothing. You would hear nothing from the White House. Because everything that's done in the White House concerns national security. Yeah. Feel lucky that, you know, the president even shows his face and talks to people. Because he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. Remember that. Let's see. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Trying to remember. I thought it was a healthcare related stuff. But maybe not. Well, let's go to healthcare anyway. Because again, this is something that with healthcare plans, different plans, there's no equality. There's no when people, Jesus. people shouldn't have to decide what ailments they want their health insurance to cover and what ailments they don't want their health care to cover. Health care should be exactly the same whether you're the President of the United States or a Major League Baseball star or an astronaut or a guy that picks up the garbage or a guy that sleeps on the street. Healthcare should be the same for everybody. And the problem is that if a homeless guy goes into the doctor's for an ailment, let me just make something up and say, let's say a dislocated shoulder, or let's go with dislocated shoulder. The homeless guy going for dislocated shoulder. They slap him in a bed. They relocate his shoulder. They send him on his way. While he's in the bed getting worked on, a $10 million a year baseball pitcher comes in with the exact same issue, a dislocated shoulder. What do you think they'll do for that baseball player? While they just pop the homeless guy's shoulder back into place and send him on his way. That baseball player is going right up into a private room. He's getting full Tommy John surgery or whatever surgery it is that those baseball players get on their shoulders. He's going to get a full 4-month rehab program. Now, tell me I'm wrong at thinking there's a flaw in that system. Because again, the people with the friggin' money get the best care. Why? Because they'll just go, oh, hey, I can pay you extra. Again, we're dividing people. You divide people, rich and poor, and you treat them different, and that is wrong. That's what we are fighting against. But we keep doing it. Every day, everybody across this entire damn country talk about the fact the rich people are the problem. You know, rich people stink, corporations stink, all this stuff is horrible, but we want more and more money. So how is that any different than rich people? Because their goal is to have more money. And at some point, you have to be able to say, I've got enough. You look at the poverty, the people in poverty. I mean, back when I was married, late 70s, early 80s, we were on food stamps. Because both of us were working, we had the kids, we needed some help. But guess what? We didn't have a phone because we couldn't afford a phone. We didn't have, a 50-inch TV. We had a small 19-inch TV. We didn't have the full cable package. We didn't have, fancy cars. We didn't have any of that. These days, you look at people on welfare, people getting food stamps. They've got big, beautiful TVs. They've got nice cars. They've got cell phones. Cell phone plan, $100 a goddamn month. Well, guess what? If you got rid of that cell phone, then you could afford $100 a month worth of groceries. And people tell me, oh, you can't live without a cell phone. You can't live without a cell phone. That's crap. People live without phones all the time. And just so you know, it's not my fault that we switched over to this cell phone crap instead of payphones on the damn streets. Yeah. But it's this millennial age, these people that don't think that they can be out of contact for 10 friggin' minutes or they might miss something. That's what it is. So people constantly, they're looking at their phone. They're looking at their phone. While life goes on around them. You'd be in a group of people and Bigfoot could walk by. And go, oh man, did you see that Bigfoot? They were like, no, I didn't see the Bigfoot. I was looking at Facebook. Or UFOs. Man, did you see that UFO? Nope. Don't even look at the sky anymore. Why do I need to look at the sky? Somebody posted a picture of the sky right here. So, all right, let's get off of that. Because that was, I don't know where I was going with that anyway. Let's talk about horrible forest fires. In California again, out west. I mean, why this is such a huge surprise, I don't even know. Because as an uneducated jerk, even I know that wildfires have been burning in California a long time. Ever since I was a little kid and I can remember, there's been huge wildfires out west. Number one, because it's so dry, they've got the Santa Ana winds, they've got all kinds of weird environmental things that happen out there. But fire is a good thing to a forest. Yeah, again, back off your TV just a little bit, sit back and I'll explain it to you. Because obviously you just fly off into a rage over every little thing I say. So sit back, relax, have a drink, all right? I'll join you. I only got like 3 minutes left anyway, so here, have a drink, relax. And I'll tell you how fires are good in forests. Besides wiping out development that shouldn't have been put there in the first place. Fire is good for a forest because it reinvigorates everything in the forest. It creates new life. Our bodies, and I've been trying to think of a great analogy that I could use, and I couldn't really come up with one, and I kept coming back to the body thing. Our bodies. Because our bodies, as we grow every single day, skin cells dry up, fly off into space, right? Our dead skin, our useless skin on our body that dies, falls off onto the ground, into the air, wherever. I know it sounds gross, but hear me out. The forest and the earth can't do that. Trees die. They fall in the forest. The leaves fall. They don't. It would be like the dead skin just staying on our body, building up and building up and building up and building up. Eventually, that would not be healthy. It does not allow our real skin, underneath all those layers and layers of dead skin, to get the air and the nutrients and the moisture that it needs. So, like our bodies, the earth needs to get rid of that. Fires happen. I mean, apparently these fires out in California, the most recent ones were started by some power line failures by the electric company. So guess what? Your rates are going up because the power company won't take that money out of their profits that they have to pay in fines and civil suits. They will just jack it into the price of next month's electric bills. But fire goes through a forest. It burns away all the dead and useless things that have managed to collect in the forest, which is why forest management is so important. And you have to remember that. Fire breaks. You know, this land has to be managed. We can't just forget about the land. Even the Native American Indians managed the land. They did control burns all the time before we came and just, you know, took this great land that we have for granted. I'm down to 30 seconds, so let's get back over here and we'll continue this talk. Oh, another slow fade. Damn it, I hate when I do that. We'll continue this topic next week after Thanksgiving. I guess I don't have time for any recipes or anything. Just cook your turkey, make it brown, don't undercook it, and don't forget the green bean casserole. Until next week, have a happy Thanksgiving. I'm Rick Blood. This is Unfiltered. Peace.